The news spread in minutes, so quickly that no one had time to realize what was happening. A paramedic at London's Queen Charlotte Hospital accidentally let slip the news. Caitriona Balfe had been rushed into the emergency room in premature labor. No warning, no preparation, no presence of her husband or any other family members. And what shocked fans even more was the nagging question that immediately arose. Where was Sam Heughan? Chaotic moment in the rainy night. London was overcast, rain falling heavily on the icy streets as if the entire city had been sucked into an uncertain vortex. About 30 minutes earlier, an ambulance had turned into the hospital gates at emergency speed. The wheels skidded across the wet stone as paramedics quickly lowered a stretcher. The woman lay on it, breathing heavily, her hands clutching the bed. Caitriona Balfe. Wet hair stuck to her cheeks, eyes wide with pain and fear. No one had time to ask why she was alone. No one understood what had caused her to appear in such a dangerous state. All that was known was that the doctor on duty had shouted, "She's in labor. She's only 6 weeks pregnant. Get her to the ER now." The scene was chaotic. Emergency lights were flashing. Caitriona's heartbeat was beeping rapidly on the monitor. She tried to say something, but all that came out was a sob. A nurse bent down and took her hand. "It's okay, Caitriona. We're here." But what Caitriona couldn't say out loud was someone's name.
Sam.
Where was Sam Heughan? At the time of the incident, Sam Heughan was nearly 200 kilometers away from the hospital. He was attending a charity event in Manchester, where he was the guest of honor. Images from the event a few hours earlier showed him smiling, answering questions, appearing on stage in a smart suit. No one in the crowd, including himself, knew that just minutes later, his life would take a different turn. About 30 minutes after Caitriona was admitted to the hospital, an assistant from the Outlander crew called him. The call lasted less than 12 seconds. Witnesses said Sam stood there frozen, his face pale, as if he had lost his breath. "Caitriona is in the hospital. She's in early labor." The last words seemed to be stuck in the air. Her husband is nowhere to be found. Sam didn't think, didn't explain, didn't say goodbye. He stormed off backstage, leaving journalists, guests, and even his manager calling after him in panic. A source said, "He ran without looking back." No one had ever seen Sam like that. In the ER, unexpected battle. In the hospital, the situation was getting more and more tense. The fetal heart rate was unstable. Caitriona's blood pressure dropped sharply. An elderly doctor spoke very quietly but loud enough for the operating room to hear. "If we don't act now, we could lose both of them." Caitriona, despite the pain, still held the nurse's hand and whispered, "I can't, without Sam here." The nurse sighed, gently stroking her hair. "We've contacted him. He's on his way." But she knew in her heart, the journey from Manchester to London in the stormy night would not be easy. And no one could be sure that Sam would make it in time.
Blood. Sweat.
The sound of cold metal hitting each other. Sometimes the fetal heart monitor dropped to an alarming level, making the whole team freeze for a few seconds. As tears welled up in her eyes from the pain, Caitriona gripped the bedsheets. In that moment, she pictured Sam's familiar face, his soft blue eyes, his warm hands, the way he'd always been there for her in the most difficult moments. "Sam, where are you?" A storm call. On the M6, Sam was driving. The wind whipped against the windows. His arms were gripping the steering wheel, his eyes bloodshot. His phone kept ringing, but only one call he would accept, from the doctor in charge. "We'll try to keep them both safe." The doctor's voice was calm. "But she's very weak. You have to come as soon as possible," Sam said, his voice trembling. "Do everything for her." I'll take responsibility for everything. Please don't leave her alone." "We're doing our best, but—" "Doctor," Sam choked, "just tell me straight." A moment of silence, then a firm but sorrowful voice rang out. "The most important thing right now is not what you say, but whether you make it in time or not." The rain pounded harder on the car window, as if urging, as if threatening. Sam stepped hard on the gas. Inside the delivery room, a dangerous decision. 15 minutes later, The situation deteriorated rapidly. Caitriona lost a lot of blood. The fetal heart rate suddenly dropped. The team was forced to perform an emergency intervention. A young female doctor spoke up. "It's extremely dangerous, but we have no choice." Caitriona cried out in pain, but this time her cry contained more heartache than physical pain. She was afraid. Afraid of losing the baby. Afraid that Sam wouldn't come. Afraid that the silence would swallow up the things they had never said. "Bring the equipment in now." The equipment was pushed in. The operating lights turned on brightly, tearing the darkness apart. Caitriona closed her eyes, 2 tears running down her temples. In the intense pain, she whispered, "Sam, if you can hear me, please come in time." The moment of life and death. At the same time, Sam turned into the tunnel leading to London in the storm. The ambulance blared past him. The rain was pouring down. But Sam was looking in only one direction, toward the hospital. When he was 20 minutes away, the doctor called again. His voice was tense. "We have to do it now. We can't wait any longer." Sam shouted, "Please wait for me. Just 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes." "Sam, if we wait, she won't make it." His heart was pounding. "Do it," he choked. "Save her no matter what," the doctor said very softly. "We will do our best." The call ended. Sam hit the steering wheel, so hard that his hand bled. The moment of birth in danger. In the operating room, the atmosphere was as tense as a string. Everyone was drenched in sweat, even though the air conditioning was still running. A doctor put his hand on Caitriona's shoulder. "Hold on. Just a few more minutes." Caitriona was almost exhausted. Her breathing was ragged. Her lips were blue. But when she heard the baby's heartbeat gradually weaken, she suddenly stood up with her last bit of strength. The last ray of light in the mother's eyes was hope. And then, a weak, fragile, but clear cry rang out.
A very small cry.
But it was enough to make the whole operating room explode. The doctor lifted the tiny baby. "It's a boy. A premature boy. Weak but alive." Caitriona burst into tears. Tears of survival. But before her joy could be complete, she fainted, her body limp on the operating table. "She's losing consciousness. Her blood pressure is dropping." Blood. We need more blood. Everything returned to a life and death struggle. Sam appears. As the paramedics wheel Caitriona out of the operating room and into the recovery room, the elevator doors burst open. Sam Heughan rushes into the hallway. Such a wet coat. A dazed face. Hands bloody from gripping the steering wheel. Where is she? Where is Caitriona? A female doctor recognizes him. She says nothing, just puts her hand on Sam's shoulder and leads him into the recovery room. Sam approaches, his breathing shaky. Caitriona lies motionless on the bed, her face pale, a breathing tube in her mouth. Sam stands there for a long time. Then he takes her cold hand,